Are you list building? Do you really need to be list building when you think you need to be training more clients, getting more clients, and writing more workouts? Do you really need to be learning how to write better copy on the sales pages that you have or that you need to create so that you can sell the products and the packages that you have now? Do you know if you need list building or more products or to raise your rates? Many fitness professionals absolutely love training, love working with people. They love helping people, basically. They feel good doing training. Is that you? You love sharing what you know about fitness to help clients, but you also want to have a home and a family and a life and time outside of the work that you love. Well, this one is for you. Listen, busy is not productive. And chasing that next client, chasing that next opportunity, getting that next sale of a package, that's a little bit of a rush when you do. But then when you realize that, okay, I've got 20 more sessions with this client now, you have to deliver them and you're kind of trapped. And after some point, that becomes a little bit of a weight around your shoulders. You can't see the picture when you're in the frame. And that comes from a friend of mine, Mary Morrissey, and an even closer friend of mine, JJ Virgin, who says it very frequently. And it's true of all of us. And she says it as a New York Times bestselling author and probably somebody very well known, even to those of you who are here. As I was growing my business, she says it frequently to me and to other members of our mastermind when we spend weekends together, anywhere from Scottsdale to Maui. When we were all traveling at one point to Desert Springs and other locations that are just amazing. But here's the thing, we all need to hear this more often than not. You're doing a lot of things. Potentially you're busy, whether you're really busy during this year of the pandemic doing things that are proactive, productive, or you're busy because you're spinning your wheels not knowing what to do. It's easy to fool yourself that you're doing meaningful things, but look up at the end of the week or the month or 6 months and know the truth. You haven't made any more money. You may have gained some clients, but you probably also lost some. You're in the same exact spot with no time to take off, no 2 weeks of vacation without losing revenue, certainly not paid, and you don't really jump out of bed loving what you're doing. Or it's much more like a hobby than it is like a spreadsheet with profit and loss, with you showing the benefit of being paid better than if you were working for someone else. So, where do you need to focus? List building. Is that one? List building so that you're able to reach more people when you make offers. Nurturing your email list. Maybe you've gained a big email list, but you don't nurture them. You don't email them regularly with content that is valuable to them. You only email them when you are promoting or selling something. And let me tell you, don't make this mistake. You're always selling. I always want you to sell and I always want you to let them know that you sell. There's an episode in this month-long sprint that talks about always let them know you're selling, but you don't always sell. There's a big difference, and people can smell it. When you're desperate for a sale and you're putting out more emails, that just doesn't feel good. Pretty soon you're losing them. They're either not opening or they're just leaving. Do you need to nurture your current members or your students? So those people who bought, do you just kind of forget them? Like they're in, but you don't actually email them unless they're doing some more private upgrade of service. So think about, what do you do to those people regularly? What do you send them to keep them actively engaged in consuming your products or your services? Do you need to spend time converting more sales? Do you have an email list? Do you have people actively landing on your website pages and sales pages? And you would know this because you have Google Analytics set up telling you how many people land there, how many people land on your thank you page, and what the gap is between. If that conversion rate is not very good, you need probably to spend a little time on your sales page making changes. Another reason for you to join me next week. If you're listening to this in April, it's April 22nd, but I'm going to be sharing 12 things that really should be on every sales page. Four little parts to a headline for your sales page that help you convert. If you have no idea how to create a sales page, how to write the copy, where the headlines go, what to say in the bullets that get conversions, and you've just done it, congratulations, first of all, because it's got to be up there, it's got to be there before you can get it better. And that's a first step. But if it's not converting, now you know where you need to spend your time. Do you need to focus on increasing the dollar amount of the sales that you're making? Just yesterday, I shared 5 ways to increase every fitness sale. Think about it like chocolate cake, but you may need to just increase your rates overall if you're not selling enough and or if you're selling too many. It's just an easy no-brainer. Do you need higher quality customers? Raise your rates and you'll get them. Sometimes you'll actually make more money, not less. And yes, you may lose some, but you might lose the ones that are a little bit harder to deal with anyway. But that will increase your profit margin. So remember this, your time is valuable. If you're giving it away and charging 1990s rates, it is 2021. Do you need to spend time focusing on increasing the number of people that are in a group training program? So if you offer a group and you think, okay, I got any warm bodies at all, then I'm successful. This is great. You've got to always have a goal and know what's the break even amount. How much do I need in order to pay myself what I'm worth? So, whatever you would say you're worth when you're doing a one on one session, earning, say, $95 a session. Great. When you're doing a group program, you should never earn less than that. You should learn or you should earn multiples of that. So if you're going to have 6 people in a group, you should be earning at least 3 times what your one on one fee would be. So make sure that you're looking at that correctly. You should never be offering a group trying to make the same amount of money that you would in a one on one session. It just doesn't make sense because you are going to do more work. You're going to answer more questions. And only until you're doing a canned program. So you're doing a program that you've done it live, now it's recorded, now it's do it yourself. They get in there, do it themselves. Would you want to decrease the rate? So if you have an 8-week program, maybe they have access to it for far longer than that. But that 8-week program might be the 197 and to meet with you 8 times would be about $800. So there's a huge savings there compared to live coaching, right? Or working with you one on one. But that's the only time that you would want to do that. So think about that again. I'll go through that list. List building. Where do you need to focus? List building, nurturing the email list you have, nurturing your current members of the students who bought from you, or converting more sales. And that would probably start with either your emails being better quality copywriting or your sales pages, better quality copywriting. And copywriting is not something you learn, not when you're getting certified, not when you're in English lit, because that's absolutely not the way you want to write persuasive copy or really your education in college. If you took Marketing 101, you didn't learn too much about doing this. Increasing the dollar amount of your sales, the ones that you're making, so you have a bigger profit margin, or increasing the number of people in your groups, also increasing your profit margin. Where do you need to spend the most time? Do you know? Take a look at those things. Ultimately, if all of those were firing better, your entire funnel and sales chain would be better, but you've got to start focusing on one most of all. Almost all fitness professionals can improve in every area, at least a little. We want to be doing what we do better and more effectively, right? Always. But there's one thing that will make the biggest difference for you right now. Do you know what it is? So, list building isn't really sexy. List building for many is not sexy, but it is the real estate you own. If you are going every day and you're thinking, what am I posting today? What am I posting today? I've got to create posts on social media. Listen, you are spending time, money, and energy focused on someone else's real estate. You don't own it. Mark Zuckerberg may own it, but you don't. He could shut it down at any time. He could shut down your specific account at any time for anything you do that he does not like. So spend far more time building your website, engaging on your email list than you do on social media. Social media is just the wheels to the content that lives and breathes on your website so that people come back to that and you grow your email list based on that action. Never, ever forget that. Unfortunately, too many fitness businesses think of their email list, as a place to dump their members once they join. So, so they can email them spammy emails about more ways to spend money with programs, but they're not really sending them anything of value. And or they're calling it's the March email list. It's the March newsletter. Nobody wants a newsletter. Give a catchy title that talks about 3 ways to prevent cancer or 5 ways to warm up and get better results from your workout. Things like that that are worthy of titles on the cover of a magazine should be your subject lines to get those things open and then deliver inside. Don't just share 8 programs that are starting in January, because 7 out of 8 of those are probably not applicable to any one of the opener. So think about segmenting your list. That dumping new members into your email list and that being the only way that you grow, that's not a model that works. And in this last year in the pandemic, when 0 new members were probably coming in, the way you should have been growing your email list would have been offering things of value, offering workouts online that they could access and learn about the new ones that came in only if they were on your email list, about packages for coaching to get through this pandemic without munching on everything in the pantry or the cupboard, how to decrease cravings, how to increase health, boost immunity. Those little programs and those little tips, and getting a freebie, something that of value in exchange for their email, getting on that list, that's what you should have been focused on. But if you weren't, it's not too late, because people are thinking right now and they're itching and they want this to be over so, so badly. And they're trying to hang on because they know they're listening. Just hang on a little bit longer. Make sure you're wearing your mask. Get your shot, yes, but you're not totally safe because you do that. You still have to be careful who you're around and that their health practices, and they haven't been exposed to many, many people. Those things are very important, but people want to get started. So take them a step closer to it. Grow your email list and use an email list for what it's meant to be. You can still segment all of your members who just got on and they weren't there before because they joined, became new members, or because they too are personal training clients. They should be tagged for that. So you can email all of your personal training clients who are VIPs in your business specifically. And lots of talk here about memberships and personal training clients as if you might be in a brick and mortar. And if you're not, your email list should still look very much the same. So you exclusively tag people who've expressed, I'm really interested in help, sleep tips. I need sleep tips. They've been tagged. They should have been tagged. So anytime that you're going to send out a program or something helpful about sleep, they get it, but not necessarily everybody else does. So if you're not giving your email subscribers something to look forward to in your emails, a recipe, a gift, a workout, a research study, a statistic, Why do they need you? The Harvard Wellness Newsletter or Google can give them more support and fewer sales pitches. So think about that. Is list building something you really need to do? Is that where you need to focus? Most of us do. No matter where your business is, we are always going to need more because some of those people are going to fall off. They're just what I would call squatters. They're just there to suck you out of the free information that you have, to get that freebie that you gave, to get privy to the articles, maybe blogs that you're sharing that they don't have to go and look for. But ultimately, they will fall off and they will also put in the wrong email address and it will bounce and you'll have to delete them from your list ultimately. And maybe they'll come back and maybe they won't, but you don't want any bounces and incorrect emails on your list because it hurts delivery. So make sure that every once in a while you do a sweep and say, is this goodbye? You haven't opened an email in a long time, and then delete those people from your list because they're costing you money, number one, and they're costing you delivery. So the more people not opening emails that you send cost you because the algorithm reads that as people aren't really interested in you and that will hurt. So eliminate those people. And if that really hurts, it's an ego thing. I know because I've done it. Eliminating 13,000 people at a time from your list who really haven't opened anything in the last 6 months. It's still, I mean, you think, oh gosh, I hate to do that. But it's like, why keep them? Because they're not opening anything anyway. The email is either false, maybe they made a typo, it's actually not coming to them. They don't use that email anymore. Get rid of it because they're not getting your stuff anyway. And I hope that helps you decide where to focus. So, all of us, all the time, do need to focus on list building, but you do it by exchanging something really juicy, some kind of a lead magnet, is what it's called, that is irresistible, too good to be true. And I've got to have that in exchange for an email address. That's how you grow your email list and you nurture people who are prospects long before they ever walk through your doors. And every business everywhere, from personal trainer, from coach, from somebody who wants to be a coach, to established fitness businesses with brick and mortar places who don't have a lot of people walking through the doors right now, should be doing this. It is the number one way to grow your list, grow your membership, and increase the likelihood that you are going to have a relationship that builds loyalty and trust. So when it's time to open up, they will come to you and they'll be grateful for all of the support that you've given them now. There you have it. I'll put links to other podcasts that have happened this month in the show notes. But get started. What is that thing that would make someone say, yes, here, take my email and send me that right away, please? The world needs you. And whatever that juicy thing is, now more than ever.